what's good? Let me know if I got some sound this time around. So we can get started appropriately, correctly. I'm gonna try this one more time. If I can quickly get some confirmation that I have sound, it looks like I do on this end, I would appreciate it. Good. All right. Thank you, blatantly. All right. So welcome to Dream Machines. Now that I'm not talking to myself, this is a series that focuses on imagining dream machines, gear that doesn't exist. And for this episode, at least not quite yet, because it's starting to look very apparent that we do have a new MPC in the works that may be announced very, very soon. I'm hoping tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., right on the dot, very sharp. But could be the following Tuesday or any time in between. That's the best guess. If it doesn't happen, then I guess we're all wrong. Yeah, that's what I have a list, and you guys, some of you already seen the list, but I'm gonna go over it real quick. I have a list of things that I briefly wrote out that I think would be good for the MPC to have. So I want to know what y'all think, what you want to see the new MPC be. It's looking like a Live 3. Who really knows though? But let's talk about it. And then also, if I have time, because I'm a little behind schedule now after 15 minutes of silence, I'm also working on this track. And maybe I'll get into that a little bit. But I am going to pull up now my little list of things. All right. So, 3 different categories: cosmetic, superficial, practical, specs, specification, and firmware updates. You can see it. You probably saw it already. If they made a different color than the black or red, I think that would be really dope. Looks like it's probably going to be red, I would assume, just from the patterns that we've seen with the last 2 MPCs, Key 37, MPC 1 Plus. I just feel like the black on the MPC Live attracts a lot of dust and dirt, and the pads do as well. So I think it would be great if they went back to the standard of gray pads that they used to have. I like the gray pads much better. I like the retro vibe. It'd be cool if they brought the retro color back. But from what I hear, MKII is Japanese for red, and they got something going on with that, with the color. Maybe if you just keep the logo red, you know, that'd be enough. I don't know how many people are actually a big fan of the red color. But the old school logo in the red, very nice. Bring that back. Make all of them retro. I don't know. How do y'all feel about it? Another option would be to have a removable faceplate for easy customization. Back when I had an MPC 1000, I also had a 2500, a 500. The faceplates were easily removable, and you could do some maintenance to it yourself. Like, I felt comfortable doing that. Like, I actually kind of became a pro at that. Let me fix up this. That does not look pretty. Yeah, I almost became a pro. Like, I customized a bunch of 1000s. I even replaced screens, put the large screens on them, you know, colored screens, whatever, replaced the pads. It was easy. It was fun. You know, it was a part of the whole thing. They don't got to take it that far. You know, if they bring back the gray pads, I really would appreciate that. And if they just did something kind of like the SP, if you own an SP, well, this is a skin. The top faceplate is metal. Underneath it, there's plastic. So when you take the faceplate off, you don't see the insides of the SP. They're behind a plastic housing. But having this metal housing makes it feel a bit more quality. But then also you could take it off, you put stickers on it, you could easily like X-Acto knife out the parts that are on the pads and the holes, and you can customize it. So, I mean, it's a sampler. I think it's a fun idea. I think people would like that. Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm childish. All right, so back to my list. Optional flip screen. I skipped the slimmer build. I think it would be cool if they did more of a significant like design change with the new MPC 3, because they're lining it up with a whole new OS, new firmware. So I feel like it should be significant, and maybe slim it down, not too much. Doesn't need to be as slim as the Push 3, but slim it down just a little bit. I don't think it's going to be smaller. And according to some people's observations, if that box leak that we saw is legit, it looks even bigger. Even the weight, I think, sounds a bit bigger. So yeah, it would be interesting to see some new progressive like design changes. Optional flip screen though, although I'm kind of having like thoughts that maybe this is not a good idea for a portable machine, people that are taking it around. I don't know how many percentage of people are actually using this on the go. I definitely do. That's why I'm actually super excited about a new Live or anything portable really. So I don't know, maybe it could work, just would have to be secure for when you put it in a bag. You don't want it like moving around and cracking the screen. Q-links under the screen. This is kind of a practical thing and a cosmetic thing. I'm not sure I care about this so much anymore, but I think it would be interesting, kind of how like the SP is. You know, they're not under the screen, but just the configuration of them being like horizontal as well rather than the vertical makes more sense to me. I like chopping on this thing because I have a start and end point right there. It almost feels like a Kai made chopping start and end point simultaneously with the Q-links somewhat of a luxurious option that you only get in like the MPC X with all those Q-links, because you do have to bank over in order to chop your end point. You don't have to, because you could just use the touchscreen, but I rather not. Like, I'm just kind of I'm at this point, I like the touchscreen. I feel like it opens up a lot of things, but I like this because of the tacticalness of it and the simplicity of it. And I'd rather not use the touchscreen to chop. But yeah, that's an option. You don't have to bank over. But yeah, just a thought. And moving on to my practical suggestions. Just let me do this real quick. USB audio. Man, we gotta have USB audio. I've been wanting this for like 5+ years. I think I don't know if I wanted this even before I knew it was like a thing. Before the SP came out, I wanted this. So the way that also like the way the USB audio works on the SP, it's in and out both ways, right? I can use it if I want to perform and record a video. So that's very useful. You don't have to have like an extra audio interface. You can record your audio straight to a video or straight to your computer, whatever it is that you're using it for, and then you can use it to sample. So that leads into the next one. At least one more input would be nice if they had a stereo, like double stereo inputs, kind of like the X, or at least like a guitar / instrument input. Because I keep going back to the SP because it's comparable. I mean, as far as like portability, but the price on this is a lot cheaper, and technically this thing is like its own little mixer because it has 3 possible inputs. I can put a mic in the front or switch it to guitar, and then I have stereo inputs on the back, and then I can sample from USB-C. So this has more I/O in a way. This has assignable outs, this does not, but I don't even use my assignable outs because I'm using these machines as standalone devices. Some of y'all probably do, and you know, that's a good thing. If you want to run out and do like send effects and stuff and have them return and all that. But yeah, $4.99, $13.99, whatever it is, less inputs. I want to see that improved a bit. And okay, next one on the list. I can just stop this now. Upgradable RAM, or like at least give us an option to buy a maxed out version. You know, kind of like Apple does with their gear, iPads and iPhones or whatever. Never bought an iPhone, but I think they have that little system where you can pay more and then get more RAM. So maybe if we had like a minimum of 4 gigs, which would be like the base price or something, and then maybe 8, 16, 32 maybe. Better processor. I don't know much about this technical stuff of this, but I just assume that with some of the features that are coming, more larger instruments, maybe more collaborations with native instruments and companies outside that do that kind of thing, port it over to the MPC. I think you would probably need a better processor, but yeah, I don't know the technical aspect of all that. Programmable buttons is one that I just kind of had this idea that it would be nice if if the MPC had maybe like a couple of blank buttons that you could program, just like you could program Q links, or at the very least these two, the plus and minus. Currently, like when you're on something like on a track, you can change the volume. I had mentioned I had seen a video by a YouTube creator by the name of MPC and Guitar, and he was complaining about the mixer, and he wanted some fixes on it because he works with more than 8 tracks. He works with like 40 tracks from what he said, I think, if I remember correctly. And then the navigation is kind of it's not so great. If you want to, you know, move over, you got to slide it over and then find your tracks that way. But maybe if we could do like a page, I don't know if this does like a, no, that's a new track, I never looked at that there. But if you could switch like a whole, you know, 8 set maybe with the plus and minus, that would be nice. But really just if maybe within the preferences you can assign functions to the plus and minus, at the very least that could be cool, if they don't give us like other buttons that are programmable. Firmware updates, people want fixes. Some people are so frustrated with MPC because things aren't working properly and they keep adding new things. So bring back time signatures and make it even better than it was before, because before it was just like this preference setting and then you'd have to reboot, and then your MPC grid would be locked into that time signature until you reset it within preferences and reboot. So having something that's more free. The SP44 Mark II actually has time signatures, and you can freely change them. It's not like a setting that you have to be locked into. And then one that's really important for me, it would be nice, is pad perform improvements. I'd like to see some kind of chord strumming, or make humanization interactive. So what I mean by that is, currently there's a humanization feature which you can use after the fact. It's almost like quantization in reverse, where instead of making sure your notes are on the grid, it's moving them off the grid by certain settings. Like you can make it feel more human, or you can have it hit before the beat or after the beat, you know. So if that was interactive within pad perform, where you can maybe turn a knob, because one thing I've noticed is that there's a lot of room for that. Like if you were to go into, let me make sure this is like, say, let me have a, if you're to go into here, there's really no functionality to the Q links. Now if we had like a sub menu that pulls out for like humanization, maybe we could adjust the strum here on the top knob, or have it you know, off the grid ahead of the beat, after the beat, you know. Those kind of things, if they added that here, would be very nice improvement to pad perform. It would really put it on the next level. So I think that's all that I pretty much have as far as my ideas. So I'm gonna go ahead and check out the chat and see what you guys are thinking and feeling about what you would like to see in the new MPC. If we get some kind of cuss, it feels like it's possibly coming soon. All right, moving into the chat. I appreciate it. If you guys like content like this, please give me a thumbs up. If you guys want to see the new MPC on this channel and we could talk about it, I'll have it right in front of me. Please give the stream a thumbs up so I can convince my friends over there at Zounds to send me one over, if it exists. I don't know. Hopefully it does, because hopefully I haven't been getting excited for nothing, you know. All right, so thanks for coming back and bearing with me from the earlier hiccup with no sound. Blatantly blatant. Thanks for dropping in again, Ali Star. Tomorrow, shish kebab. Sounds good, man. Crazy MPC. I hope a metal case. Yeah, like I was saying, removable, at least the metal faceplate, even if they don't want to give us easy access to inside of the machine. At least that little faceplate like the SP. Why are we sure it's not a Live 2 Plus? I guess we're not sure. I guess it could possibly just be kind of like the MPC 1 Plus upgrade and have 4 gigs and a red body and But I mean, from what we've seen, Alistar, I don't know if I feel like you've been here with us about this. I mean, the leaks so far have said MPC Live 3 with that website, and then that picture of that box, if it was real, it also said MPC Live 3 on it. But who knows? I think I read someone said that it was the box was enhanced with AI. So I don't know how much you can trust that. Greetings, fellow pad slappers. LeBron Sinclair, what up? No ego though. Release date? I don't know. I think it's gonna be within the next week. It's gonna be announced, if not tomorrow morning, in another week. And if that doesn't happen, I've been completely wrong about all my assumptions and looking at the evidence. I would like a tilt screen, says I am Ray Beats. Just like the MPC XS, just like it. You don't want it like hanging off the edge though. Can you imagine that? And then trying to carry it around? I wouldn't want that. It seems like that would break really easy. Al McCree said it was teenage engineering competition. Now that's interesting. I did hear him say that, but I had to replay that. Not all I heard him really hint to was like, not even hint to. He said outright that there was a microphone on it. But then that video was taken down, I believe. So I thought he was just referring to that. But that's kind of a stretch to compare it to teenage engineering just because of a microphone. So I wonder what that meant. At this point, if MKII doesn't include a web browser to directly connect to the YouTube, Spotify, etc., to sample, etc., it's pointless to get. Yeah, that'd be too much, man. That'd be too much for me. MPC stands for MIDI Production Center, but the center of the sample-based production without internet connection is not the center. Lastly, having a 10-inch screen that can't load video. Photos. Are you serious? You really want to load? Why do you want to load photos on there? I guess, man. I mean, it could be cool. Like if that could possibly be a thought. I don't know. I think that'd be extra. But I have thought about because one area of focus as far as like sound goes that I would be interested in if I wasn't doing what I actually pursuing, writing music, which I enjoy the most. It would be like sound for film. And I used to do that in school, like within Logic, and you could bring video in Logic and then, compose around it. So, man, if I could do that with my MPC, then I actually might try it out, And I think the only reason I don't try that out is because I don't want to get on a computer and set all that up. But yeah, I'm not sure if you're serious, but for real. But I do believe MPC stands for Music Production Center now. Yeah, as you see right on the MPC. It actually on the live here it does say music, so I think they changed that. That might have just been back in the day, like the MPC 60 or 3000. I don't know at what point it was changed. The RAM idea is a plus. Chocolate Boy Swagger, what's good? Thanks for the cosign. Laugh Aloud screen isn't for videos or photos. No ego, a tilt screen will be more failure points in the chassis. All the other tilt screens have their issues at some point. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Sampling from YouTube, Spotify is illegal, of course. The MPC won't be able to do that. I mean, imagine just having having YouTube on the MPC and then having access to YouTube to MP3 converter. That's the point. You pay $2K for a machine that can't play video and photos is insane. But it isn't a movie production center, or a PPC, picture production center, or Photoshop production center. I mean, that's the beauty. I don't want it to do everything. I mean, I don't mind if it becomes a DAW. Even though people feel like it's moving away from the MPC kind of workflow, I feel like it's pretty much the same, and I haven't lost the same vibe of creating that I did have in MPC 2.15. And I don't mind the extras. because I like that you could still use it this way. A lot of people don't like that the arranger exists, and I've heard people say it's a joke, and I really don't use the arranger much, but as visual cues when I'm recording my verses. But I still have access to song mode and can still use that legacy workflow. I really would not want a web browser to my MPC, man. I just keep my phone by the side, and if I had a USB-C plug, then I would be sampling off my phone just like I do with the SP. So I definitely wouldn't want that. That's part of the reason why I don't use computers, is because of all those extra options and distractions. So please don't do that. I mean, it's got Wi-Fi connection. I'm sure someone could hack it so it could do that. You know, someone who's smart enough and knows about these kind of things. Eight-bit hustler, excuse me. What's up, man? Seth, what's up? Yeah, Chad, my Sweetwater rep did get back to me. He couldn't say anything except that something is coming. There you go. Live from the PsyUp, what's good? Add the ability to use a mouse and keyboard to it. But we do got a keyboard, so I mean, if they could improve and allow some more of the things to work on there. But yeah, I think I know what you mean. Like maybe being able to control more stuff from the keyboard than just typing. And yeah, I'm not opposed to the mouse. I didn't think of it, but I'm not opposed to it. And some people, when you bring up the mouse, are like, then what's the point? You might as well just use a computer. I don't think that's even the point of being standalone. That might have been one of the excuses back in the day why people don't want to produce on a computer. I don't want to use a mouse. But I think it's more about having unlimited features, distractions, and just having more options that could actually fail, you know, at some point. That's what it was for me. Just troubleshooting things not working, software licenses. I don't know. I can't even think of it. Don't even want to think about it at this point. I'm very happy where the MPC is already at this point. So everything here is pretty much just, you know, a nice little luxury. I think if I was going to pick one thing that they added would be USB-C. I don't know why. It's just really useful thing. Ali Star, you really Andy Mac? Kareem, what's up? They don't care about what we want. Converter MPC 60, 3000, SP 1200 time signature, new MPC, new update. Every time they just want sell. Yeah, I mean, it's a part of it. It's a business. I don't get carried away with like pointing the finger and being like, oh, greedy people, because, you know, if there wasn't this company creating these machines, we wouldn't have these machines. And so a part of it, you know, I don't know, man. I can't even knock it. And some of it is probably true, right? Some of it's greed and it's about selling stuff. But they still have made a product that's more useful than any, you know, groove box that's out there. And they've still, like, from the inception of it when it came out in, I don't know, what year was it? 2019? Or earlier 2017, when like the Live one came out and the X came out, what that was compared to what it is now. And they've given so much of that away. Like a lot of huge features have been given away, you know, for free. And then on top of that, they've built stuff that they can now sell, like a ton of virtual instruments. They implemented those before they started selling them. They implemented a bunch of free synths for us, you know, along the way. I'm cooking now my MKII MPD 218 in FL. That's what's up. Yeah, I used to use FL, and I remember buying an MPD. I think this was like I had taken a break from beat making, and I think I was making music with a 1000. I had sold the 1000, and then I had bought a OG SP 44 with the silver body on it. It didn't keep that long, and then after I sold that, I think I got into FL and was trying to figure out ways to get that tactile workflow. And then I seen they had released the MPD, one of the MPDs, but I didn't keep it for very long. It was like a silver version MPD. I forget what it was. I think it was the 32. Rocky S, what's good? What do you think of the Electron Tonework? What is that, Verse? Uh, yeah, man, I've looked at it briefly. I've thought about maybe getting my hands on it, but probably not from what I've heard about some of the limitations on it. And it's, I mean, it seems like it could be pretty powerful, but compared to what might be coming in an MPC, I don't think it really compares. It probably pales in comparison. And that's like a different workflow that I've never got into. So I'm not sure I want to, sometimes that could be frustrating, especially if I'm trying to, get into a new machine. Like if I want to get the MPC soon, I don't want to spend time learning another workflow. And then on top of that, I like machines that have pads, not clicky buttons necessarily. And I like the 4x4 layout. So for me, probably a pass, but I always do get interested when a new sampler comes out because I just love samplers in general. And if I can use a sampler to write a song, then it's, of course, it's going to draw my attention on some level. But I don't know. I think it's coming at the wrong time. Like if an new MPC wasn't dropping, I might hit up my friends over at Zounds and see what we can do and test it out. Vachi, more RAM, stronger processor for sure. Phantom Power would be lovely. Alistar Tonework needs to wait till it gets more features. Is that thing out technically already? Noob. Y'all don't fall for the okie doke. It's gonna be very small change to get people who are addicted to buying equipment. Yeah, you know what? You might be right, man. They may just flip it to a red, add some more RAM, at least 4. And maybe we'll see some firmware fixes, updates, things that people have been complaining about, and that could be it. Could be the exact same body, just a red color, and not much different. But y'all saw my thumbnail. I think the red with the gray pads looks good. Or put some clear pads on it. I think if y'all seen that stems video they did with, man, I always forget homie's name. Ski Beats. He's got like a custom, well, he had an MPC 1 Plus with clear pads on it, and that looks pretty dope. Or that'd be dope if they partnered with like MPC stuff and you could just buy it straight from the factory with the pads that you want. Like make that optional. Yeah, that's definitely a big possibility, and that's why they kind of just like was an okie doke maybe if with pulling the MPC 2 off of the market. Hold my beer. I want it to release. I think very soon, man. I don't think we have to wait too much longer. No ego. The original name was MIDI Production Center. When Akai was sold, the company, they changed it to Music Production Center. Okay. Do you know what year that was, or what was the first MPC to have it? The Music Production acronym instead. I bought the MPC 3000 LE back in '97 for $2,549. Do you still got it? I think you said you still have it, right? And now what are they going for? 10K on eBay? I don't want it to be able to edit videos and photos. Just the fact that it can play videos and photos is that it can't play in videos and photos. I don't know. I don't think that means it's outdated. I just don't think that's their target. Type-C for audio and MIDI over USB, phantom power, maybe horizontal Q-links, and a crossfader for A/B cuts like on the Octatrack. Other than that, what does the crossfader do? Like A/B cuts? It's not like a crossfader, like a DJ crossfader, is it? For sure. Maybe just lighter and smaller. Aaron Chandler, what's good, man? Thanks for dropping in. World needs a hero, maybe an HDMI or a way to screen record. Could be cool. I wouldn't be opposed to it. I wouldn't be let down if it didn't exist. But I mean, I think it'd be cool to like do these streams and have the screen on the stream, but other than that, I don't know if I'd use it. Kareem, NPCs have become consumer products. They want to make an arrangement window while the converters are useless. The pitch is useless. The touch screen is useless. Is it really useless? And Ego agrees. Okay. Is it that bad? I guess I don't have anything to compare it with. You guys are using like older MPCs and really loving the sound of those, right? Did Pete Rock, Primo, J Dilla, Diamond D change their machine so much? Did they wait for the last update? No, but what's the point? Like, I think you could still make music and still have an interest in new gear. I'm sure those guys have interest in the new gear too, or would if some of them were still around, or J Dilla specifically. But yeah, I mean, if you got something that works for you, then go ahead. But yeah, so I'm definitely not familiar with the 60 or 3000. Never used them. Everything else does pitching better than the modern MPC. You're saying the sound of just pitching something, like tuning it? Yeah. Any chance you get, you bring up that P6, man. You really love that thing. You're using the original MPC Studio Alma? So it's a good machine, man, I think. I don't understand how people with gas wouldn't want all the bells and whistles on a machine, especially at that price point. Because I just want to make music. I don't want to be distracted by extra stuff. If you're specifically talking about like video and all that, although you said you don't care about that really, but it's just the point that you're making. 8-bit hustler, 8 gigabytes RAM, definitely never understood why they cut corners on the RAM to begin with on the current gen MPCs, right? Isn't it pretty cheap? Isn't RAM pretty cheap? I sell my MPC to Octatrack Mark II, better pitch, more dynamics. So you got a Octatrack now. What do you mean by more dynamics? At least I'm liking the new Zoom L6 mixer. They didn't just announce something new, portable, and has a little. Didn't they have one just like that though? Already. If it was 500 like Mark II, I'd understand, but 2K, nah. I don't know. I think the MPC Live is worth the price. Just my opinion, because there's nothing else like it. Now, if people start, competing with them, then they'll have to bring the prices down. Rocky S, I hear you. The only reason why I mentioned the Toneverk is because I run Overbridge in Ableton. Overbridge, right? Okay, so Overbridge is like the USB audio, but you get like multi tracks, right? Yeah, bro. Why would they make the Plus and SE versions for the core machines, but leave out the Live 2? Yeah, but the Plus is still 2 gigs. What more did they do for that? But then again, they also the SE, the MPC X is also discontinued. So I mean, yeah, that's why people are even saying this, that it's possibly just a Plus version. They're gonna call it the 3, but it's really just more of a paint job and a slight bump on RAM. I'm hopeful though. I think it'd be much more. I don't feel like they're gonna do that for the rollout. Although MPC 3's been rolling out for quite a while now, I feel like they're gonna go a little bit bigger. But yeah, I'm open to that being a possibility. Q-Link's on one side, Jogwheel on the other. Idio, what's good? True, I learned a long time ago, if any company gave us everything we wanted, we wouldn't keep chasing the same almost perfect machines. Goes for any tech, really. But how do you even give everything that somebody wants when what somebody wants is different from the next person? So you can't please everybody. Mass produce, what's good? Alex Booger, what's up? I want cursor keys on it. Yeah, it'd be cool. I mean, we have the plus and minus. I don't know if that really works in that way though. K-bar beats. Yeah, I'm a kind of a click fan too, Alex. K-bar beats to be awesome. They made it look and feel like the MPC 2K or MPC 60, but with new hardware, software, and modern I/O, and no touchscreen. I doubt it, but yeah, I feel like that would be really interesting if they did make a just as powerful new machine and you're able to navigate it just with the buttons and knobs and stuff. I like the key spank on my X. I'm not even sure what you're saying. Hawkeye, what's up? New MPC is coming soon. It's just a matter of time before Andy Mac breaks the news. That's how it feels. Mass produced. I'm good with the Live 2 and 2 point. You're on 2 point still. Everything you need. If you're happy with it, I like the improvements. I like the changes, let's just say. It's not improvements for some people, but for me, they are improvements. Let's see how much time we got. MPC 60 was the first MPC for Kai, released in 88. Then a Kai was sold in 99. That's when they changed the name to Music Production Center. Okay, cool. Compare the pitch. Yeah, I would have to compare it because I don't really hear anything wrong with it, but I've not really tested it compared to anything else other than maybe my SP, and that's limited. I personally contacted Alta Music and they confirmed that it is indeed the MPC Live 3 and they're currently shipping them to customers. Therefore, the packaging appears to be legitimate. They're already shipping? Aaron, I have the MPC XSE and Key 37. Very happy with them, but curious, excited to see what is coming. Alistar, there are production machines and performance machines. MPC cannot have every feature. The architectures for these two arenas are vastly different. Tumba Sports was good. MC909 had everything. Really, I don't really know much about that other than a familiar kind of sound. Maybe, or I'm thinking the TR909. If this machine is released, is there any reason you won't purchase one? Me? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, if it's just a bump, then I wouldn't want to get one. And if it's just a 4 gig bump, then probably not. But I have an opportunity to try it. If it is coming out, then I'm gonna see if I can get my hands on without actually buying it, and then I'll decide whether I want to buy it or not. And I think if it doesn't offer much more, because I really don't need much. This is just mainly curiosity. I like to see the boundaries, like just where these are going. Like I've said in the past, when I had the MPC 1000, I was trying to do everything on it. I was doing workarounds before the 1000, before JJOS, before there was like key group instruments. I was making my own with the drum programs, pitching sounds and playing them from a keyboard. And then when like the JJOS came out and it had audio tracks, that's when like I felt really inspired to just do everything on the machine and like do vocals and stuff. And I never completed anything, but I remember writing like hooks and stuff. I was still in that phase of not learning how to figure things out. I just recently learned how to push myself through and start finishing music. Got a different perspective. But yeah, so like these things, man, I really nerd about these things because the state of where this is at, and thinking about back at having an MPC 1000 and having the little track with the audio in it and stuff, so I'll probably, like, if I have an opportunity, try every MPC that comes out. But yeah, if it's not much more, then I would just try it out, maybe talk about it with y'all, and then just go back to my old faithful. But man, I always go through different machines and stuff, so it's hard to say how long I'll keep this, I would like to. I'm not much of a collector, although I'd like to be a more a practical user. And then if I get bored, I'll just, switch it up. Scar, the Red Dawn Infinity. We need better processors and operating systems and completely fix the software so we can produce beats and record vocals all in one machine. Are you talking about like the software on the computer or standalone? Because I'm already producing and doing my vocals all on this machine as is, but always welcome improvements. But I actually do feel like they've some of the things are not improved, and when it comes to audio tracks, things that I noticed, and even like the grid edit, like they kind of locked up some of the stuff like zooming in and out. I can't figure out how it was, but doing it before, you could like zoom in and out. I think with the Q-Links with the MPC 2.5 or 1.5 or whatever it was. Rocky says it would be nice to have a control knob like able to control every track for volume and effects, etc. all at the same time. Yeah, or I think the best option for that is, I'll pull it out again, is getting one of these and programming it, and you could probably do all your tracks because you have all these different let's see, more light on this. Right here, this actually has so each one of these can be a different mode, and then you can do another 8 tracks for each mode. So you see how many you have, like 16. So I don't know, 8 times, just if you did 10, 8 times 10, that's 80 tracks. So you could program this to control all your tracks and just bank over using the mode button. Let's see if it can work plugging it in. Actually, I don't think I have, that's the right template, so I won't try to do that right now. Maybe it is, I don't know. Let's just keep talking. You can still instrument programs with a very deep level of editing on JJOS. Yeah, for sure. JJOS is still cool, for sure. And I seen, it's funny because we were talking about the MPC 2500 in a stream recently, and I'd mentioned that I still kind of want one from time to time, and what I really want is one of them with the large screen on it. And I seen a used one with the large screen on it, and the price was lower than I've seen them in a long time. It was like $800. So it's sitting up there for sale. If it wasn't right, if it was like 3 months ago, I would have grabbed it. I ended up grabbing this live retro like 3 months ago, I think. I don't think it's been that. Maybe a little longer than that. I think it was while my youngest daughter was born, like 3.5 months ago. Around that time. Yes, it was. I had ordered it. That's funny. I had ordered it and I was waiting for it to arrive, and the delivery date was right around the same time as the expectation date for my daughter to be born. And I don't know who came first, the MPC or my daughter. So it was like 2 wonderful deliveries. I should not compare those two, man. That's goofy. All right. Even DJ Premier ended up using an MPC for Guru's vocal. He was a sample him in the booth and have the audio go to the MPC and cut the vocal that way for the machine. Oh, okay. I think the average video is kind of misleading. What do you mean? I prefer an OLED screen. Get rid of all these stupid graphics. Okay. MPC has Wi-Fi. Why can't we export directly to Google Drive, etc., when it would be true standalone? There was a little note announcement about there being wireless like file transfer. So I think that's coming. Some sort. I don't know if it's Google Drive or what specifically. Probably not Google Drive. Maybe they'll have their own little system. I think you're right that the MPC Live is going to be an MPC Live 3 Plus or something like that. You might have hit it on the nail. It's not going to really redo the look of the unit. It's going to just be 2 Plus makes sense. Live 2 with 4 gigs. Press and hold the Q-Link button to get the Q-Link window, but what up? Yeah, why'd you mention that? I'm not sure. I don't know about that. But yeah, there's definitely been some improvements to the Q-Link stuff. They've redone this whole window, and you can even, I think in the, there's a pull down, or I'm mistaken. Another reason is 6 months ago, people started doing their own 4 gig mods. Yeah, I did see that. I think that started with the Ableton, especially to the Live 2. 2 of those launch controls could be a nice little in the box mixer. Why? What's up with you with like two of everything? Why you need 2? Just to have access to 16 tracks simultaneously without having to press the mode button and switch over? Because you can do up to like, you could do 8 tracks times 16. So whatever that math is, 80, 6 times 8, what, 48 or something? Like 100, you can do like 128 tracks. Recording vocals is still clunky on MPC. Oh, is that a question? I mean, I've been doing it since 2.15, man. It's my preference, so I wouldn't say it's clunky. I guess I've figured out a method that works for me, that I like. Rocky says, what I'm really still waiting for is the plugin for the MPC to go into Ableton. Oh, is that not possible? Scantless beats. Oh, that's cool. 2 things you love, MPCs and your daughter. For sure. But I'd sell all my MPCs for my daughters, as much as I love MPCs, if I had to. You think Av overhyped it? Maybe. Twice the fun, twice the price. Yeah, you got 2 P60s over there still, huh? What else do you have 2 of? Oh, come on, fellas. I got like 50 of y'all in here. Got 16 likes. Y'all don't like this kind of conversation? All right. At the risk of sounding like I'm itching for likes, once again, y'all want to see the MPC on here. It feels like it's a real thing, right? If it's a real thing, I'm gonna bring it over here on the channel and I'm gonna check it out. We can talk about it while it's sitting right here. Let me get a thumbs up for that. You got 3 MPCs, but at least you don't have 3 MPC X's, right? Because I understand if you got like a live and an X and a 1, but if you got 3 1s, 3 X's, 3 lives, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Appreciate it, Aaron. And I appreciate everyone who just thumbs up. Vote with your thumbs. If you want to see the new MPC on this channel, vote with your thumbs. It makes a difference. It really does. Slept on is the, what is it? I don't need the new MPC, but I will watch. For sure, man. I've been checking out some of the stuff you've been putting out there. I like what you're doing, like kind of minimizing and stuff. Do you I've never seen you with an MPC. Have you ever tried one? Just wasn't for you? Or Tony Virtuoso, what's up, man? Oh, referring to the zooming on the grid with the Q-Links? He talking about like is there a specific type of Q-Link preset that's good for that? Because I remember it used to be like I don't know if it was specifically for audio tracks, where yeah, like all this was really nice for, see, these 2 now aren't really, metronome enable. This was a different grouping of things back when it was on 2.15. Now we got track level. I think it was always track level at top and then playhead. But now metronome enable and metronome level are within this window, which is not useful for me. I think before this was like a scroll. So I could scroll without moving the playhead. And then I think there was like a zoom. So I don't know why that was a choice that they made. And I think even in like the arranger, oh shoot. See, with the arranger you can do it. But I'm specifically talking about within your audio tracks. I can't do that now. K-Bar Beats, what do y'all think? A nice assignable fader so you could hook up a portable turntable and have something decent to cut with. Put an actual crossfader on it, like for cutting. Could be interesting. I'd love to see an official 3.0 iOS app. Like y'all were just talking about, with making things easier for bouncing or transferring files on the go, or some kind of native integration with algorithm DJ. I don't know much about algorithm. I don't really know anything about that. But yeah, some kind of app for transferring stuff for sure would be cool. Yeah, I think that potential's there, and from what they said, I think something like that's coming. Because, I mean, we already have like the splice file integration like that. Something like that for projects maybe, or for your own personal samples. Jew, what's good? Editing vocals in standalone is not very precise, but gets the job done. Maybe they can work on that. Try using your shift too, and maybe turning quantize off. So you move around with the playhead knob, and then shift will make it smaller increments, and then you can make your cuts. I like it though. I prefer this than going on a computer. I don't know how to fill yet. Need to see what it do. You got an MPC now, Jew? Yeah, we're just talking about what we'd like to see. You know, how could the Live 2 be improved? Dap1 says, Sweetwater Plug said the new MPC landed 2 weeks ago. Oh. But I'm not making a video for them anymore. Crazy Web, but I have the MPC Live 1. I did not put the work in to learn it. I was immature. So you had it, or you have it currently? I think those thumbs up buttons know something. What does that mean? Crazy. I had, not have. Okay. The Yamaha FGTP 50 finger drumming pad 50. I think I know what you're talking about. Those Yamaha finger drumming things with a kind of different, unique pad layout. Willy Wonka, what's up? Can't we reorganize it though? The Q-Links? There's some things you can program. There's some things you can't. Like if I wanted to program my Q-Links to chop start and endpoints, have this one chop and this one chop the start, this one chop the end, I really don't think that's possible. I've looked. I guess it's been a while since I've looked, but certain things like that, I think the playhead control, zoom in and out, I don't think you can assign those types of things. You can assign it to like maybe controlling insert effects. Yeah, there's certain things you can do, but I don't think there's certain things you can't, and probably by design, so that you like buy into an MPCX if you want certain things. AI Vic, I own a Key 37, no complaints other than some awkward ways of navigating, etc. Anyone knows why Kai takes so long to fix some software problems? Who would buy a unit if it's not ready to be released? Yeah, I don't know. They're just ambitious, and I mean, a lot of companies are kind of like that now. It's kind of a bittersweet thing because, yeah, some people say back in the day, people didn't wait around for like firmware updates to see what it has to offer or complain about or have wish lists and all that. It's true because that didn't really exist back in the day. You didn't buy something for what it could be, which is never a good idea. You bought it for what it was, and you're pretty much locked in. I don't think there was really many firmware upgrades for most of these machines back in the day, maybe fixes. But now, I say it's bittersweet because there's all kinds of things coming, and then they're balancing that with bug fixes and all kinds of advancements in this technology, or, as far as what this can do. So, seamless file transferring is a must. Yeah, I think it would be cool. Anything to get away from PC even further is welcome. Yeah, so like a phone app would be really nice. So if I could, because I do my whole songs in this, and I do a mix down from here, and then I put it on the SD, and I take the SD card out, put it in this thing, and then with like a USB-C adapter, plug it into my phone, and then that's how I move my songs over, and then upload them. So if there was like a wireless app that I could do it without that would be great. So yeah, that's about it. I don't think I'm gonna get into the process of working on the song since the chat was so long, and I gotta head out and go get my girls from school. This is kind of off topic, but I really want to make a kit to install a rechargeable, like a battery in the Mark II. I've seen people do that. I'm not really equipped to want to take my stuff apart like that and do that kind of thing. But I always thought that was cool. That would be nice. I try to figure out like a non-destructive method where I bought like a USB-C super thin battery, and it just didn't power it, but it fit like perfectly right here. So it could have probably been sat inside of here and then just like maybe made a little cut and then just have that wired to this. I don't know if they have that sitting around somewhere. Another thought was I was gonna like see if my volts would, because this little thing that I have, I don't know if I have it down here. I think it's in this bag. Let me see. No, maybe not. Here it is. I thought the power for this was enough. This is a brand name Clutch, and they make like the way they brand it was like the world's thinnest power bank. This is what it looks like. And maybe if I can see how that fits right there so perfectly. And this has a built-in cord, so I was thinking maybe my volts makes the cords, but then it has the USB-A male on the other side. Maybe if they made a female version, and then, but I don't know if this is the right power. See how that would sit right there, almost perfectly. Just the power level isn't right, and then, maybe my volts would have something that would work. USB-A, and then have a cord between it. So, I mean, if someone could manufacture something like that, it would just fit right there. That could have been super dope. So that was my idea with this, and this just sits in a box. I don't even use it, not even for my phone. Yeah, but that'd be cool if you did that, man. Have you seen someone do that? Because I've seen videos of people soldering batteries into their SPs before. file transfer shouldn't even be a problem in this day and age, for sure. I can even transfer samples via Wi-Fi on my 2K XL with $30, $40 mod. Really? Even modern cameras have wireless transfer. I got the special USB cable that takes the different plug heads for the 404. Quite cool. Really, I'd like to see that. I'm not sure which one that is. If you got a link, send me a link, man. A little MPC live, a lighter MPC live would be my only wish. Yeah, something a little smaller, lighter would be cool. When will the YouTubers debut it though? The same day that DECKSAVERS does. So I'm gonna say tomorrow morning. Or the following Tuesday. But yeah, I gotta jump off of here because I gotta go. Got things to do, and my phone, I don't know if I even ever turned this fan on. I think it's about to overheat. I might have not ever turned it on. But we got quite a bit of a stream in without my phone overheating. But you're thinking Wednesday? I don't think they usually put things out on Wednesday. Usually Tuesday morning. So either tomorrow or the week after, that's my guess. Cool. Let me see that link. But yeah, if y'all want to see it on this channel, give the stream a thumbs up, and I'll do my best to get it over here and on the channel. Probably not, definitely not as quick as those fellas, because they already, you know, if this is all real, then they already have them, and they've already made their videos and got them scheduled and all that. Cool. Thanks for the link, man. Let me see. I've seen a DC to Type C daughter board. That would be definitely help making something like we're talking about. A nice easy kit using a Raspberry Pico or something similar. Yeah, if you could make something like that, let us know, man, because I wouldn't be making anything like that. I just use these things. So, but yeah, I'm out here. Appreciate y'all. Y'all bless. Keep on doing your thing. I'll see you on the next one. Hopefully next stream the MPC will be a real thing in existence, and we can talk about what we actually see in front of us. So peace, everyone. Appreciate you.